They were trying to keep us away from each other.
I know. What is it? They were trying to keep us apart.
They were trying to keep us apart. I know. They knew we were going to become besties. They didn't want it to happen.
They didn't want it. It's too much.
Yeah, it probably is. It probably is. Hi, I'm Gina. I'm here with Amy Lou Wood, who plays Amy in Sex Education, and here are her Netflix 9.
Hello.
Obviously, last season, we see Amy go through a lot. Her storyline was probably one of the most gut-wrenching of that season. Now we're entering season 3. Where is Amy now? What are we expecting to see?
She's still very much recovering and healing from what happened to her in season 2. She grows so much every season, and there's always, so in the first one we had the female masturbation, which meant so much to so many women. And then in the second season, that amazing storyline with the bus, which also meant so much. And then I feel like this season, it's kind of like her getting to know her vulva and just loving her vulva. She's just continuing to find herself.
You become, I imagine, a lot closer to the character the more you play the character, the more you read about the character. How much do you think Amy has changed from the very first time you set eyes on that script in season 1 to season 3?
The first time I read those scripts, I mean, she was brilliant, but she's just become kind of like, they've embraced the kind of weirdness and the fact that she has such a unique way of looking at the world. Yeah. And they've really gone with that. And I think back to kind of the first time we see Amy is her like getting out of the car with the Untouchables, and she's all like, she's trying to be like them. To think of how she's, the last time you see her in season 3, and she's like saying goodbye to Maeve, who's her best friend, and saying don't forget me, and they're just so strong and they're so together, and they're
I love that friendship. Oh, it hurts my heart. I love them so much.
I love them so much. And to think about, she really feels like she's gone from like girl to woman.
Yeah, yes, absolutely, I agree, totally.
Yeah, she'd never been single as well. Like, she'd gone from boyfriend to boyfriend, and I think that that's an amazing thing that in season 3 is that actually it's the end of season 3 is kind of the first time we'll kind of see Amy as a single.
Yeah, you're right.
Without a boyfriend. I never thought that she'd be single because I mean, she goes through 3 boyfriends. There's 3 boyfriends in the first season.
Which is more than me in like 5 years, so kudos.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, she rattles on through. She's like, next.
When I spoke to Ncuti, I asked him who makes him laugh the most on set. Who makes you laugh the most on set, or makes it hardest for you when you're filming?
Oh, easy. Amy Lou Wood is a demon. There's no way you can be in Amy Lou Wood's company and not be like crying with laughter.
What do you have to say about this, Amy? Is this true?
I feel exactly the same about him. He brings out, and I mean from the start, like as soon as I saw him and we met, we were like, hello. It was kind of like, there was this, it was like we met in a past life. Yeah. And we kind of like, we clung to each other quite a lot in like, when we were nervous and we filmed all the party stuff in season 1. But we bring out a cheeky side in each other, and we're quite chaotic. We've got quite chaotic energy when we're together because we are both like that, but we kind of, when you're around other people, you kind of like play it down a bit. And then as soon as we're together, it unleashes. I mean, we cannot be left alone together. If we have to be up early, we can't have a dinner the night before. Even if we meet at 7, we will not leave each other until 5 a.m. But we definitely spiral off together. We're like, ooh, okay, we're out of here.
So would you say that Ncuti is the person who makes you laugh the most on set? Or would you say that you and Emma have that sort of relationship where it's also very difficult to get you guys to finish?
Well, this is the thing. Emma and I mean, I don't even know what half of the things that come out of our mouth. We just, as soon as we see each other, we're going straight into scenes, like characters. We cannot speak. There was a day that we both forgot what our own voices were. We were like, what do you speak like? What do I speak like? Because we're doing all these different accents, we're doing our Scouse, and then we're doing we're just constantly, and we're singing, and it's just non-stop. And people honestly walk in and they're like, whoa.
Just quickly on Amy and Maeve, because as we mentioned earlier, such a beautiful friendship. but obviously this season they have their first fight, which broke my heart. I was like, no! What was your immediate reaction to seeing the fight when you first read the script?
We were really nervous about it because it made us actually sad. The day that it was happening, we kind of went over to Ben, our director, and we were like, so we're thinking about like, is this a bit too harsh? Do you think we were trying to mellow it a bit? And he was like, come on gals, like, do it. And actually just going there and having to say those things to each other it was so hard. Like, I was looking at her and she was getting so upset and I just wanted to give her a hug. But what we actually got to is that they have to really kind of go there with each other and they have to be really honest, and we want to kind of let people know that their friendship is stronger after that.
Exactly.
Like, they were already best friends, but like they did avoid kind of difficult stuff. Like they avoided conflict, and then they kind of just have it out, and then it actually means that they've said what they feel and they've expressed themselves, and then they can go from that point. So I feel like the foundations of their friendship are even stronger now that they've had their first fight.
Do you ever read a line that you have to say or something that's going to happen and think, bloody hell, I can't believe that we're going there like this? Oh my God.
Constantly. When I read that opening scene, I was like, oh my
yeah.
And actually it was, this is what my stepdad said, it's actually less about the fact that it's a sex scene, it's more about what Amy says. It's the stuff that she's saying that's like, oh my God. Yeah. And that is going to follow me. I mean, honestly, like, you know, people will always remember that opening line. Do you like my tits? You know, and there's stuff that I'll read and I'll think, really, you know, like there was one line in this where it's like, I need a shit. I think it's going to be a sloppy one because I'm anxious.
Yeah.
It's like, of course Amy's the one looking at a vulva with a hand mirror. Of course she makes vulva cupcakes. Of course she talks about her sloppy shits. It's like, what have I got? I'm always like, when I get the scripts, I'm like, what have I got this season? What's going on? Is there, you know, there's always something.
As an actor, what has been your most surreal experience that you've had so far?
I actually think currently I'm doing a film with Bill Nighy.
Oh, wow.
And I did have a moment the other day when I was filming with him, because I'm trying to act like it's normal, but he's someone that I have admired since I was a baba, you know? And I'm sat with him and we're doing the most beautiful scene where he's doing the most beautiful acting. And I did have a moment the other day where I went, okay, this is surreal. This is like a full circle. This is weird. And also, I think probably winning the BAFTA was the most. I was like, what the hell is this all about? Yeah. This is hilarious. So it's been, I would say the past few weeks have probably been the most surreal of my time as an actor.
If you could do literally anything else and you'd be really, really good at it, what would you do as a career?
Therapist.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the way you had the answer ready on the tongue as well, I read that.
Because I think about it. Sometimes I think, I'm like, should I be, because I would say writer, but I also write. I feel like that goes quite hand in hand with acting. But if it was an actual career change, I would say therapist, because I am fascinated by people and by and minds, and I would love to be a therapist.
Who would you most like to meet from another Netflix show or movie?
I'd love to meet Winona Ryder. Stranger Things. Oh my God,
that's such a good one.
Because Winona, you know?
Yeah.
Icon.
Yeah.
Absolute icon. And also RuPaul and Michelle Visage. Like what? I'm basically, there's an ongoing joke with my friends that I'm always just using like social media to try and campaign to get a guest judge slot on Drag Race. And it's true.
Yeah.
Because I need it. So I just want to be a guest judge, that's all.
And I think you deserve. Do you know what? I'm going to take that petition straight to the boss. Not really sure who thought that out, but yeah, I will.
I see people on this and I know they haven't watched one episode in their life. I'm thinking, you know, Jerry Halliwell, you're great, but you have not watched Drag Race.